Okay, Malena, so why don't you go ahead and, welcome everybody and share, what we are, a little bit about why we are here.
Yeah, so I was just sharing with Karen that I went back and looked at our notes on how far back we go. We actually met back in 2014 at a health fair, and she had a lot to share about whole food nutrition, which I was, of course, very passionate about. That's my background and what my degree is in, and something that I was definitely uh, making a part of my everyday life, not just for me, but for my kids. I didn't commit to what she had to offer at that time, even though I was a super busy mom navigating work, two kids, extracurricular activities. I still knew the passion of making sure that I did what was right nutrition-wise for me and my children. Problem is time got in my way. It was not my best friend. So I knew what I needed to stay healthy and well, but preparing for it never really was what I could effectively launch. And then when time came to pull the veggies out of the drawer to use them, time was not my friend either, because they went bad and then they went in the trash. So dollars were not my friend at that time either. So when I re-listened to what Karen had to offer a few years later, when we crossed paths again at a health fair, I said, let me not delay any longer. Let me do the mommy and me hero move and get the whole food nutrition from Juice Plus. We've been using it, like I said, for 4 years. And some of you here on the line can attest that what I truly believe has kept us healthy pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and post-pandemic. So whole food nutrition, I'm a true believer from the time I went to school and learned super great amounts about, and also sharing that with my children today as well. So I wanted to give you all the opportunity to learn more about Juice Plus, what it has to offer for you and your families to keep you healthy and well. So Karen is the expert in that, and so she'll take it over from here.
All right, well, keep the bar lower than that. I'm not necessarily the expert, but this has become a passion, and I never knew it was going to become a passion for me, helping people get healthier. But it was so much fun. We were talking about before all of you guys hopped on the Broward Health Fair and where we met and how we would talk. And I can't believe it's been 8 years since we introduced that. So, okay, so I want to thank you all for taking time out, because I know that especially if you've worked all day, you're tired. So you guys just must love Malena to be able to hop onto a Zoom tonight to support her. So no matter what, at the end, whether you decide that you're interested or not interested, I love and thank you for supporting her, because this is definitely her passion. So let me get to the presentation real quick. Okay. So we're going to run through this fairly quickly. I don't want this to be in depth if anybody, and then we're going to do a question and answer at the end if you guys have any questions. So our community is all about inspiring healthy living, which, is so easy. All right. So we are unhealthy. As Americans, we're unhealthy. 1 in 4 people die of heart disease. 1 in 2 and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer, right? Diabetes, obese. Dr. David Katz is the head of he used to be the head of the preventative department at Yale University. And he said, our children are more harmed by poor diet. Think about this and let this sink in. Our children are more harmed by poor diet than exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined. I know I saw a presentation like this when I had just had my son. He was about 3 months old, and it really hit me pretty hard. Environmental toxins are increasing. So there's a lot of toxins that we become, that we are in touch with every single day. And some we are able to control, like our toothpaste and deodorant and maybe skincare that we're putting on our face and what we're eating. But some of them we cannot control. We can't control the air outside. We can't control a lot of things. So when you take a look at this list, this is just a small list of some of the toxins that our body comes in contact to every single day. And we kind of need to detox from that. And there's a few different ways we can do that. Food quality is decreasing. This was a huge aha for me. I had no idea. And when you think about Like right now, I just bought, because my kids only eat certain fruits and vegetables. So the other day I bought strawberries. Strawberries are not in season, around here. It's a summertime fruit. But we can get them. It's because they're picked, a while ago. Apples, when you get an apple in the grocery store and it's not apple season, that's probably been in cold storage for up to 6 months or even a year, I've heard. So the amount of nutrition in that produce, as soon as it's picked, starts decreasing. So you'll hear a lot of people talk about how, oh, they bring it home and we've got to let it ripen. So I don't want to gross you out, but it actually doesn't ripen when you bring it home. It's rotting. Because once you pick it, it's done. It's almost like once you give birth, or they're done growing inside of you. So more than 50% of what Americans eat is processed. I hope you were kind of looking at the slide a little bit. A lot of the stuff that, we're getting in our food is not natural to our body, and our body doesn't really recognize it. And then broccoli could lose 50 to 80% of key nutrients before you even purchase it. And then the soil, I was just talking about this with somebody today, is that the soil is depleted from nutrition also. So it's really hard. I'm sure it's hard to be a farmer, and it's hard to go shop for quality food. I'm sure when you guys go pick the fruits and the vegetables, right? Like half the time it doesn't even taste like a juicy apple, or it doesn't even taste like a tomato. There's not a lot of flavor sometimes. So what can we do to be healthier? There's a lot of different things. We're not going to go into a lot of detail, but exercising, moving, and that's going to look different for everybody, but trying to move at least 30 minutes a day, whatever that looks like for you. Sleeping to 7-8 hours. Oh my gosh, that's impossible for me. I'm lucky usually to get 6. If I get 7, then it's a miracle. Managing stress, I'm type A. I fail at that one a lot often. Drinking water. I will actually show you. I didn't do this the other night. I actually bought a gallon-sized jug, and I try to drink 2 of those a day, because if I know that if I just grab a glass, I lose track of how much I'm drinking every single day. Using safer products, we kind of talked about that. I buy all natural toothpaste and all natural deodorant, and some better hair, shampoo and things like that. And then eating real food. That's the focus of what we're going to talk about tonight, is whole food nutrition. What we put in our bodies makes such a difference in our health. So let's focus on fruits and vegetables. Experts agree that most diseases are preventable with good nutrition. Dr. Sears actually says that 75% of diseases are prevented through good nutrition. So I love this poster. My mom and dad, unfortunately, both passed away from cancer. So this is a pretty powerful slide for me. Reducing your risk. And I kind of like to make a joke that, we're not seeing, Chick-fil-A or Krispy Kreme donuts up there to reduce our risk. It's fruits and vegetables. So, and the fact that the American Cancer Society is promoting that is pretty powerful. So oxidative stress. When I first saw this presentation, I had no idea what that was. I don't know if you guys are the same way, but I had always heard the word antioxidants, and still today I'll ask people, what's an antioxidant? And a lot of people have heard it, but they really don't know what it is. So oxidative stress actually causes free radicals, and free radicals are like the bad guys, let's say. And so let's say that this is a cell and you've got oxidative stress causes free radicals. They just beat at your cells all day long until they damage it. And so the bad news is oxidative stress causes aging and disease. And we can't do anything about it. Just sitting here, we're oxidizing, we're getting older, right? We're aging. So we can't do anything about it to stop it, but we sure can slow it down. And the perfect example is that apple that's on the screen right there. So when you cut an apple or you cut a banana, or, a lot of different fruits and vegetables, what happens if you leave it out? It starts to brown, it starts to oxidize. So how you can slow that down is you can actually put something like lemon juice on there, which has antioxidants, and that protects the fruit and the cells from the oxidative stress. So it's not that it's not going to go bad, but it sure slows that down. So this is usually shocking to everybody. And I know it was to me as well, because when I grew up, I think it was like either 5 to 7 or 5 to 9 servings. So when I ask people today, how many servings of fruits and vegetables do you need? Nobody is guessing it's 7 to 13, and 7 is for children. 9 is for women, and 13 are for men. So I know we've got a couple of men on here today, and I don't know if you're even coming close to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. I know my husband does not. And if you're an athlete, you need even more. I have heard from, we have a medical doctor, Dr. David Phillips, who's also an Ultraman athlete, and he says that you need 20 or more servings of fruits and vegetables, because you're causing, when you exercise, you create even more oxidative stress. So we talked a little bit about why so many. Produce is picked before the nutrition is fully developed. It's transported like on a ship and in trucks. It's transported, we don't have a lot of local farmers anymore. 90% of Americans don't even eat enough servings. The USDA thinks that about 93% of people are not getting the recommended servings every single day. That's only 7% of people that are eating enough. And then we don't get enough variety from the rainbow. We need to eat a rainbow, because the nutrition coming from broccoli is different than what's coming from a tomato, that's different from a pepper and from a blueberry. They all contain different phytochemicals that are good for our body and help in different ways. And if you guys are like our family, where my kids want carrots all the time, they want strawberries all the time, they want the same things, we're just not getting that variety. So that's why the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they are so good for you that they could save your life. And that was in Time Magazine 2003. So fruits and vegetables are not a fad. This has been talked about for a long time. So a lot of people, if you guys are like me, my mom was a nurse. I'll tell my story in a little bit. My mom was a nurse, and I grew up taking a lot of multivitamins because that was the answer. Vitamins were created because people were getting rickets and they were getting different diseases. And so that's what was created. There's only 13 vitamins that scientists have found. And so when you go get a vitamin or a supplement, you actually there's only 13 vitamins. And then a lot of the other ones are, maybe minerals or other things, but they're all isolated and it's synthetic, it's man-made. My joke is that you've got some guy named Bob in a lab making your vitamin. It's not coming from the food. Our body doesn't recognize that. Your body wants the vitamin C from an orange. It doesn't necessarily want the vitamin C from a synthetic vitamin that is made in a lab. It doesn't really necessarily understand that. You guys can read this. I'm not going to read that. I also say that the amount of vitamin C in an orange is about 60 milligrams in an average orange. And if you think about how much vitamin C is in the typical vitamin right now, you're looking at usually 500 to 1,000 milligrams. And the reason they do that is because they're hoping, most vitamins are not bioavailable. Your body is not absorbing that nutrition. So the manufacturers put in mega doses, hoping that your body absorbs some of that and it stays, whereas your body really only needs a little bit. And so even probably out of the 60 milligrams of an orange, your body doesn't even need that much, because there's also vitamin C in peppers. So if you had peppers that day, or something else, that it just needs a little bit, but of a lot of different fruits and vegetables. So what is Juice Plus? I'll kind of tell my story a little bit right here. I was a vitamin person because my mom was a nurse. I actually was adopted. And my biological mother had asthma, allergies. And so when I was really young, I don't even remember, for as long as I can remember, probably 5, 6 years old, I started having the symptoms of all the allergies and the asthma. And so, of course, because my mom was a nurse, I had the best treatment. I was getting allergy shots. I was on, medication. But I suffered for a lot of years, honestly, until I was about 36 years old. So probably about 30 years. And I was told by doctors over and over again, several doctors, that it was genetic. There was nothing that I could do. So when you're told it's genetic and we don't have control over that, you really kind of go, okay, well, it doesn't matter what I do then. So I also grew up in the age where fast food, fast breakfast, like breakfast cereals and all the processed foods started coming out in the 70s. And so I'm sure my mom was like, oh, thank God I don't have to cook breakfast anymore. So I was eating, the Fruity Pebbles and the, oh my gosh, Captain Crunch. I was eating all the just junk food, and I was drinking soda. And, I think I had a half a banana for breakfast, and maybe I had a vegetable at lunch. So I just really, and then my mom gave me vitamins. And I think that at the time, that's what she thought was bridging the gap. So I'm so grateful that when I got pregnant, my best friend introduced me to Juice Plus, and it didn't necessarily make sense at first. I knew I wasn't getting enough fruits and vegetables. And when I asked because I was pregnant, I happened to be pregnant. And I think that's the only reason, honestly, I was open to listening to the information about Juice Plus, because I was more concerned about my unborn baby than myself. And I really had been told, because it was genetic, there was nothing I could do anyway. So, but I took it to my OBGYN, and he's like, you know what, it's just food, it's all good. Well, by the end of the pregnancy, because I was not allowed to take my prescription medications, by the end of the pregnancy, being on Juice Plus, and I was only on the reds and the greens, you're seeing the red and green there. I was only on those. By the end of the pregnancy, all of a sudden I realized that I didn't have the symptoms anymore. And it has now been over 17 years. In May, it'll actually be 18 years. I have not had to take allergy medication, asthma medication. I don't have the migraines I used to. I don't have the digestive issues. Well, I might tonight. I had pizza tonight, but in general, I just don't. I feel healthier in my 50s than I did in my 20s. And honestly, it's because of Juice Plus. So I kind of joke around that, after I took Juice Plus, and I really sat there and I thought, oh my gosh, imagine if just the nutrition in these little capsules can make me feel better and make that much of a difference in my health if I actually started eating healthier. So Juice Plus really kind of becomes a catalyst for a lot of people to start making simple changes and start eating healthier. So Juice Plus is whole food. It's not an isolated vitamin. It is produce. We have our own farmers, and they pulverize it. It's not really juiced, but it's dried into powders at a low temperature. There's actually videos on YouTube if anybody wants to see that. It's either in a capsule or in chewables. It's the same nutrition, but it is half when it goes into the chewables, because it's little gummies. Gummies were made for little tummies. Full spectrum omega blend. So this has only been around for, I want to say it's 3 or 4 years, and it's amazing. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. So I want you to just quickly take a look at all of these different ingredients that are in Juice Plus. So you're not seeing that it's, just vitamin D or, vitamin C or vitamin A. You've actually got the nutrition coming from the fruits and the vegetables. And imagine your body, if you actually had a little bit of all of this every single day and you were eating this, imagine how healthy you would be. And there's no way. I mean, I joke around that you would have to be a stay-at-home vegetarian. And quite honestly, it's like Malena said, I have all great intentions some days, and I buy a ton of produce, and sometimes it just gets thrown away because it's just so difficult. So it's really hard, and it's expensive to buy a huge variety of fruits and vegetables. So I love that Juice Plus really kind of helps to bridge that gap and give me nutrition that I just can't, I can't get every single day. And if you look at some of these, honestly, like black currant, elderberries, and bilberries, I don't think I've ever even seen them in the store. So some of these would be very difficult and expensive to get also. All right, let's talk about these omegas, because I absolutely love the omegas. I love all the products. Let me back up real quick. The vegetables are for a strong, healthy immune system. The fruits are for a strong, healthy digestive system. And the berries, the purple ones, are for lowering systemic inflammation and cardiovascular health. And so the omegas, omega fatty acids, everybody has probably heard, oh, you need to take an omega-3. Nobody really says why, right? It helps with heart, brain, joints, skin, and eyes. Now, the biggest difference with the Juice Plus omegas is it is plant-based. I only am aware of one other plant-based omega. Most of them are coming from fish. And I know a lot of people that I've spoken to, they hate the fish oils because they get the fish burps. I'm sure you guys have heard about the fish burps, but there's a couple of different things also with having a plant-based omega. Number one, we're saving the poor little fish. It is, and fish do not have naturally occurring omegas. I had no idea a couple of years ago at conference when they were introducing this, and the doctor got up on stage, she says it's what the fish are eating, and that's what gives them the omegas. So we're kind of skipping the middleman and going straight to the source of the omegas. So we actually have algae farms in Hawaii, and that's where we're cultivating, and that's where we're getting the omega-3. And then we have seed buckthorn berry, which is from like the Himalayas. We have pomegranate seed oil, raspberry seed oil, safflower seed oil, tomato seed oil. And so it actually is a broad spectrum, and it gives us nutrition from omega-3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, not just omega-3. So the Juice Plus Complete shakes, I could do a whole presentation on these because I love shakes, love, love, love them. I started working out with a trainer in my 20s when I had discretionable income before kids. And one of the things he always was like, you need more protein, you need more protein. So I would go out and I would honestly buy, you know, a cheap protein shake just to do that. And it was always a waste of protein. And I never felt good. I always felt bloated. My stomach was upset, but I kept drinking them because he kept telling me to drink them. So fast forward quite a few years when I was, I guess, probably about 36, and I started taking Juice Plus in the shakes. And I was introduced to these, and I just thought, oh, another shake. And it is a world of difference. I realized that being plant-based without the whey is the most processed protein source, and it's really not healthy for a lot of people. But the Juice Plus shakes are vegan. They're made with non-GMO ingredients. They're gluten and dairy-free, protein, fiber. They're low glycemic. Low glycemic means that there's sugar. Yes, there's a little bit of sugar in there, 10 grams of sugar, but there's 8 grams of fiber. So when you have almost this 1-to-1, what happens is that gives you a low glycemic where your sugar is not going to spike like this and then come down. Your sugar goes up and then it goes across. So you actually have sustained energy, and you're going to stay full longer. So, and look at all the ingredients that are in here. I joke around that if you actually just took all of those and threw them into a blender, it probably wouldn't taste very good, but the company has done an amazing job at these delicious shakes. So Kim Dalzell, who is an oncology dietitian, says the safety of soy depends on the source. The whole soybean, minimally processed as found in the Juice Plus Complete, provides the best and most balanced defense against disease. I know some people are concerned about soy. If anybody is, I have a ton of resources that we would love to share with you if that is a concern. The second and brand new, this just came out December 15th, is our new Perform. And this is it's for mostly people who work out, athletes, people who work out, or vegans or vegetarians that just want more of plant-based protein. So it is a high protein, 25 grams of plant-based protein, naturally occurring B vitamins. It is helping with the oh my gosh, muscle growth, muscle recovery. It helps with bone health. It helps with the mental. So it doesn't help because I can't remember the word. It's getting late. And what else does it help with? It helps with something else. I can't remember. So, but if you look at this, it's just an amazing, and it comes in fruit fusion. That's like a tongue twister for me. And it is just so good. So how I use this is after I work out, and I will actually take a scoop of the other shake, the Complete that we just talked about. I will either do chocolate or vanilla, and I'll do 1 scoop of the Perform and 1 scoop of the Complete because they have completely different ingredients and different purposes. And that way I feel like I'm getting the best of both worlds for those. So Juice Plus is unique. There's 3 different things that separate Juice Plus from majority of the products on the market. It's a food, not a multivitamin. It actually has a food label. I don't have a label with me. It was on that last slide a couple ago with the vitamin, but it's not a multivitamin. It has a food label. It's made with non-GMO ingredients. It's vegan, kosher, dairy-free. It's gluten-free. It's NSF certified. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about NSF. I had not, at the National Sanitation Foundation, and they're a third party, and we do pay them to come in, but they come in randomly when they want to. It's on their, timeline, and they will come in and they actually test our powders for. There's 2 different ways they test. They test for every single of the normal Juice Plus, and they test for herbicides, pesticides, bacteria, molds, anything that is not safe for human consumption. They also test for NSF Sports certified for, I think it's 136 or 137 different banned substances. So it's interesting. A couple of years ago during one of the Olympics, the NSF certified ones and it's special batches that those are was sold out. You couldn't get it. So there are some athlete teams, Olympic teams and just professional teams that actually use Juice Plus, which is pretty cool. And it's the most research. We're going to talk about that. It is the most researched whole food nutritional product in the world. So Juice Plus, again, isn't the end all be all. It doesn't replace fruits and vegetables. It helps you bridge the gap. You need to eat fruits and vegetables and let Juice Plus help, fill in the gaps of what you're missing every day. So let's talk really quickly about Juice Plus. It's plant-based nutrition. It's, it delivers some extra nutrition that you're not getting from the food that you're missing. And it's supported by over 20 years of independent research. So gold standard research. I want you guys, I'm not going to read the universities, scroll through some of those universities. I'm just going to mention two of them actually really quickly. The University of Texas, MD Anderson, probably most of you have heard of that. There's a cancer research center there. It's huge. And one of the studies we have done, or they have done, is with ovarian cancer survivors. We've done with the capsules and the shakes. And that's pretty impressive. And it was done by the National Institute of Health, was part of who sponsored that. So that's pretty cool because it's your and my tax dollars helping to pay for that. And then the American College of Cardiology did a fantastic research study showing that the Juice Plus capsules, I'm summarizing this really quickly, can actually help to prevent brachial artery constriction, which you're going to have less heart attacks and things like this. So one of the doctors actually said one time, which made an impression on me, he said, "You're known by the company you keep." And so if we're known by all of these impressive universities, then I think that's pretty impressive. Research results have attracted thousands of doctors. When you go to the doctor, a lot of times the doctor is just telling you to take a vitamin. They don't give you specifics because it's, there's either no research or they don't want to stand behind a specific product. And that's not the case with Juice Plus because of the research. So if you look at some of these things, Juice Plus helps cardiovascular wellness. It supports a healthy immune system. It reduces systemic inflammation. It protects your DNA. We have skincare research, periodontal research. We have research with teenage boys that were insulin resistant at Nemours in Jacksonville. And after 30 days, they weren't pre-diabetic anymore. So the research is so impressive. Dr. Richard Du Bois, there is nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do. So I want to just talk about the immune system really quickly because that has been such a hot topic the last 2 years. Everybody's talking about how can we, what can I do to help my immune system? And honestly, since the pandemic, it's kind of funny and not funny, is so many people that I had talked to about Juice Plus before, all of a sudden were calling me because then all of a sudden they were like, oh, now it's important to get healthy. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I thought it was 6, 5 research studies with proving that Juice Plus supports the function of the immune system. And you don't want to boost. You're going to hear a lot of people or ads or something out there talking about boosting your immune system. You don't want to boost your immune system. You want a strong, healthy immune system. So this is a little bit, I'm not going to go into this. This is what the MD Anderson Cancer Institute. We also have research with families. So the Juice Plus company wants everybody in the family to get healthy. And they know that when, you have a mom and a child, and if the parents can only afford to pay for the child, then we're going to put our kids on the Juice Plus and we're going to go without because it's what we do as parents. So what they've done is they created a Healthy Starts for Family program, and it's been around for over 20 years. And what they do, which is great, is if a parent orders Juice Plus for themselves, either capsules or gummies, you can sponsor a child ages 4 through undergrad and college, and they can get Juice Plus for free. So that's pretty remarkable because it's really like buy one, get one free. The company wants mom and dad to get healthy with the kids, not just the kids getting healthy. And we see so many sick kids out there nowadays. I don't know if you guys have that, but when my kids were younger, they thankfully have been so healthy because they've been on Juice Plus since I was pregnant, which is awesome, but I saw so many of my friends, they were at the doctor every month or every other month. My kids, knock on wood, have never had an ear infection. Each of them have only been on antibiotics once. My son, because he was bit by a dog and we had to put him on antibiotics, and my daughter had foot surgery and she was on antibiotics. So it's not that we don't get sick. We get colds, we get, things like that, but not sick enough that we go to that we go to the doctor. What I do is I call it like a juice plus hazing. So when all of a sudden somebody gets a sniffly nose, we take 2 to 3 times the amount of juice plus that we normally do. And what's awesome about that is it's safe. There's no warning label on juice plus. So I actually had a neighbor's daughter who ate half of a bag of the gummies and she was fine. They just had to go through a few more diapers. So I hope while I was talking, you guys read through some of these, but the healthy starts for families. The kids are missing less school. They're on less over-the-counter prescription meds. We also have a thing called metabolic reprogramming, where if you start to eat healthier foods and your body's getting that nutrition, you start to crave that. So that's happening with a lot of kids as well. The Tower Garden, excuse me, I have both of these. Actually, I have the one inside right now growing, and then I have the outdoor flex. And I will tell you that the Tower Garden grows despite me because I do not have a green thumb, but this is self-watering. These are completely different. If anybody is interested in the Tower Garden, we can go into a lot of detail with you, but both of them can go outdoors and both of them come indoors, but they're different. The one on the right, which is called the Flex, is actually holds 20 full-size plants. The one on the left holds 16 full-size plants and 16 microgreens. And it uses less water. It's self-watering because you fill up those basins full of water. They're on a timer. That's why it lives for me, honestly. And then I have the lights. So I'm growing right now indoors. I have all kinds of collards. I have Swiss chard. I have kale. I have cilantro. I have basil. I don't even know what else I have up there. I think I have kohlrabi up there and Brussels sprouts. I have a bunch of different stuff. So it's pretty awesome. All right. So Jumpstart Your Health. We're a part of a community. Malena has joined a community. And I never thought I needed or wanted a community, but it's awesome. It's awesome for the support. It's awesome because this has really become my family. And then our company will help you to get healthier. We provide resources, whether you're a customer or not. We have cookbooks, we have fitness videos. We do a thing called the Shred, where once a month we help motivate you and give you accountability to where you kind of shred the bad habits and focus on the good. So, we provide a lot. We have a Facebook group. If any of you are on Facebook, we actually have a Facebook group where we do a lot of challenges. Next month, we're going to be doing in February, we're going to be focusing on heart health, Black Health Month, African American health. And then also, I think we're going to do some sort of fitness challenge. So every month we try to keep it fun, but also educational. So let me go through. Sorry. Do you want me to go back? I can go back. Okay. So Juice Plus is so affordable, in my opinion. If you guys go to the grocery store, I did this a few weeks ago for a table I was doing, and I went and I bought one apple. And that one apple was a little bit more than $1. I think it was like $1.03 or something like that, because it was by the weight. So when you think of nutrition of 30 different fruits and vegetables that you can get for $2.50 a day, it is such a bargain. We spend so much more on other things. Think about things that maybe you bought today or you've bought in the last week that cost, more than that every single day. I mean, gosh, you could go get just a bottled water and it could cost that much. And then think about, you get free for kids if you have kids within that age group. And then the shakes are really like switched dollars to me. That is part of my grocery bill because we use it for breakfast. My daughter drinks that for breakfast every single day. She fuels for volleyball with that. That's my breakfast most days, and sometimes even my snack in between lunch and dinner. So instead of me reaching for something unhealthy, I'm going for the complete. And then the omegas, for all you women out there, and I guess the men too. So I love the omegas for the nutrition it gives me, but I also love it because I use it as a moisturizer. So I actually poke a hole in it. And if I'm not going anywhere, because it will turn your face orange for a little while, I will actually rub it all over my face, and it is a fantastic moisturizer. So let's talk about our mission for a little bit and what what Malena has joined and why you're here supporting her. Because you guys, oh my gosh, some of you guys have known her for, I think, 17 years, for quite a long time. So I love that you're here supporting her. So the Juice Plus company has been around for over 50 years, since 1970. This is a picture of Jay Martin. He is the president and founder, and just an incredible man. His mission was to inspire healthy living around the world and to build a stable and lasting company that helps as many people realize their dreams. And that's what he's done for me, is he's realized my dream, a dream I didn't even know I had. I grew up and I went to college, and all I knew was you work for somebody. So I was in corporate America for almost 20 years. I had no idea there was something different out there. I didn't know that you could work for, and have a home-based business. And I didn't realize that I could be a stay-at-home mom, and I could be homeroom mom, and I could go on the field trips, and yet I could still bring in and pay the mortgage and the bills and do all this. I had no idea that that was a dream. I didn't know, but it was fulfilled. So I just am so grateful for this company. It also has allowed me, besides all that, it also has allowed me, I think I shared with you, I have lost both of my parents. It allowed me to spend time with both of my parents before they passed. My mom 9 months, my dad a few months. And I didn't have to call to ask off from a boss. I didn't have to take time off. I just went, which was great. This is a virtual business. So the mission is unique. We were founded in 1970. We're in 26 countries. It's a wellness industry, so it's not going away. And we actually have over 16 billion in sales since the inception. And then it's pretty easy. This is not 9 to 5. I don't have a boss. I'm kind of my own boss. And so we just share as we live life. I'm talking to volleyball moms, and I'm talking to neighbors. And when I go to the gym and I find somebody. So if you talk to people, you'll realize how often health and nutrition or they're getting sick or their kids are getting sick comes up. And it's kind of easy. When you get excited about a movie, you get excited about something that you've purchased on Amazon, you share it with people. And this is kind of the same thing. You get excited when it's made such a health difference, such a benefit in your health and your family's health, that you want to share that with your family and your friends. So the amount of Juice Plus earnings is a direct reflection of the number of people that you are helping. And I didn't know that this was going to be my passion, helping people to get healthier, but I just love it. So we invite you to join us. Even if you just leave this and you say, oh my gosh, I need to eat more fruits and vegetables, I'm not even coming close to the 9 to 13. We of course would love for you to become, a customer of Malena's. We're happy to help you either tonight or, whenever you're ready. There's no timeline. The company has been around for a long time, but we would love to get you started, because we know what the nutrition does for our bodies when you eat it, especially day after day, month after month, year after year. Becoming a partner. So during the presentation, you may be thinking, oh my gosh, Aunt Susie, and she has diabetes, and so has an autoimmune disease. This would be great for them. You may have thought about some of your family and friends. And if you have, maybe becoming a partner and getting a discount on your product, and also sharing with some of your family and friends to get them healthier, that might be an option for you to help you earn extra income as well. So that is it. Let me stop sharing. All right. I feel like I was trying to race through that because it was a lot of information. So I'm sorry, it was a little bit longer than I expected. Does anybody have any questions? You may turn us off and we can do questions. Hold on.